Alright, while we listen to some snoring, let's check out the relationship status. Maxed out with Isabella, surprisingly. Almost maxed out with Luke. I don't think she's really had much interaction with Zachary, Rebecca, or Ashton. Oh, wait, she did have interaction with Rebecca. They had a whole thing about architecture. Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. Okay, I'm starting to recall everything. Let's check out the journal. To keep her mind off of things that haunted her, Marianne McCulloch focused on assisting the Wrights during their move-in. Later that afternoon, she was seen chatting with Luke Wright, who then demanded that she and the rest of her crew take an early leave. The interior designer once again drank her frustration. I am just having trouble talking this evening. Away at the crawl bar, albeit heavily intoxicated, she was seen chatting with Ashton Frey, a detective inspector working for the LPD, Luke Wright. Before abruptly leaving, the detective left her his calling card. Hang on. Is this whole journal thing like some other third party writing about this? Like, no one survives, and there's this investigation afterwards to find out what happened to them, and we're reading the results of that investigation? I am intrigued by that. I think that's it, and I'm being swarmed by cats. Well, part 6 of Marianne's chapter. Maybe we'll actually finish her chapter and move on to, I don't know, who's next. It's either Luke, Ashton, or Rebecca. I think I've already read this part. Let's skip on. Already, I dread the pain I'll have for sleeping in such a position. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. Oh, this again. Oh, weird sex dreams, huh?
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie? Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
Is this the same thing or is it a new dream? Not that I can get much sleep to begin with. ... Just bit her clit off, that's what happened, huh? Do people ever have the feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still it eventually tires them out? Like everything? Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
That's the great thing about low expectations. Though moments like these make all the hard work worth it. Definitely. Absolutely. Totally. Gods, I need a vacation. Right, what she's thinking.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion.
Because it's... Never mind, that's a lame joke.
There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
Sounds like he just wants to do those things just to have those things, but then pay someone else to deal with them. That's what I would do. We're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction of a client's face is enough for me to push through. Not the money. Let's face it, in between my exasperation at Mr. Wright's antics and her, I've been burning the candles at both ends, whatever that means. Is she just like really into both of them? Is that what's going on? I can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face or a weird threesome. Dead girl. Dead. Oh my god, it's necrophilia. She's dead. I have to keep reminding myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body 6 feet under. So, this game taps into necrophilia, huh? Well, a lot of animes cater to some weird things, I guess. Not that this is an anime, but you know. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead, when I should be bothering myself with the living, because they are annoying as shit. Too bad the living are usually as complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past. At least the ghosts don't, rot.
But don't you have a party?
I don't know where I was going with that one.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see.
Such a sweet hole.
That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites way past their honeymoon phase. That's when you move on to the next one, or have an affair. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor. Not that I'm counseling anyone's relationship to do that. That's horrible advice.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch.
You know what? This right here, this dumb look is an act. I don't buy it. You know exactly what's going on. Whatever your name is, Hannah.
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
Are you talking about yourself? It sounds like you're talking about yourself. Wait, no, never mind. It's the other way around. Oh, she sounds perfect for Luke.
What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Whoa, just butting in, Marianne. That's unprofessional.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Crap. Don't get involved.
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle.
Hang on. Why does this seem familiar?
But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
I'm getting intense deja vu. This is like, I don't know.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself.
Good advice.
Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone.
Codependency is not good.
We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Indeed. Why she thinks a single woman like me would be the best sorts of a relationship advice is beyond me, because she's single and thus there must be something wrong with her, right? Still, I talk and answer the best of my abilities. Without realizing it, I've already pouring out a part of me that I had thought were long gone, like the necrophilia. I like to believe my words will be of some help to Mrs. Wright on how to avoid necrophilia. If I'm honest, though, they are of some help to me, like some weight has been taken off my shoulders, like I almost banged her husband. Lorraine. That's her name. Not dead girl.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
It's gonna be a shit show. The weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it? Maybe.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies.
Yes, she might drink too much and then sleep with your husband.
Busy, busy, busy.
Or try to hit on you.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I change that. Like, disappear.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly.
Because you have to ask permission.
You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive.
Because they're gonna arrive at least 8 hours early.
Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead, I shouldn't just callously forget about them too. That's the one thing. All the parties I went to, you show up early, you get roped into helping set it up. Guess here they have servants for that. Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft that she would so easily miss things like a party for it. Outside the parlor, people hurry about here and there in preparation for the Wright's grand housewarming party. None spare me a glance as I slip past them, each working on their appointed roles and not daring to slack off while they work for what is probably the most powerful couple in Luxborn who pay shit. I make it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination to just drown my sorrows and think about the dead girl with the name of Lorraine. But when is a great task ever simple? Probably never. Clicking. Okay. This is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet that is worthy of being called a quest. The quest for wine. I'm not acting as Marianne McCulloch, the professional interior designer, when I choose to lie about being too busy for a party because I gotta rub one out in my client's wine cellar. Thank you, Sid, for pushing me. I'm Marianne McCulloch, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. Awesome. I always went for paladins, personally. Just thinking of it like that makes it a bit cheesy, which I'm very glad. 5th edition D&D doesn't restrict you to lawful good for paladins. Very glad they changed that alignment requirements. It was nice when 3rd edition and they dropped the whole racial restrictions on classes. But it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I'm actively seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. Huh? Did I miss to read something? Just thinking about that, like, makes it sound a bit cheesy, but it helps with the fear. Okay. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing and find myself imagining Grand Quest fall flat. Is that why she's going in there? For the crack? To see her dead friend? Or lover? And who would have thought that the gatekeeper to my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally? He looks furious. He's like, I'm trying to get everything set up, and you're in my goddamn kitchen. Get out.
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butler comes from the cellar and into the kitchen, tailed by a couple of others, people who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. It raises a brow, seeing me just standing there by the hatch by the trap door. It almost looks like he's going to throw me out for being in the kitchen without permission. But then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize themselves with their surroundings, because kitchens are confusing as shit. Meanwhile, he continues to stand there, preventing entry into the darkness beyond because he knows what's down there.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now.
In an architect.
I request you leave.
I was just looking around for any last-minute things, yes?
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about.
Ooh, he's got something to hide, doesn't he?
Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
There's a body in the cellar, that's what it is, right? He's hiding one of the skeletons. The look he gives me as he says this is almost chilling. If life was a game book, he'd probably be the true neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place. So just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble.
As there will be trouble if you don't get the hell out of this kitchen.
Both the Bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise. And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out. But...
Please, I just lost something the last time I was down there. It's really important.
15 minutes. 9, 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself. The bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
He steps aside, begrudgingly. At this point, it looks like there's no turning back. The cellar greets me ominously as I descend. This is a very odd cellar. It looks more fitting for, like, well, game of D&D. Dungeon. The space feels smaller, with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before, and knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things worse. I almost hope, in a morbid and twisted sense, that Lorraine would just be standing there, waiting for me. It would be just like her to joke about inappropriate meeting in dark, secluded areas. But just like the broken bottles and wine that was spilled on the ground before, no trace of her can be found.
Lorraine! Where are you, Lorraine? I miss you, you know?
Only silence replies, and the butler was standing behind her this entire time. Funny that when you want to find something, that's the time when you can't. The thought that I wouldn't be able to see Lorraine one last time fills me with such despair. Sure, it was crazy to come here willingly in the first place, but all I'm really looking for is closure. Ah, geez, that reminded me. The number of times trying to find a condom, not being able to find one. That just ruining things. And if I can't see her, the least I can do is offer her a prayer. On the verge of tears, I kneel in the middle of a dark, damp wine cellar and put my hands together in prayer.
May God grant her eternal rest and...
That is when her laughter fills the air. It rings along the walls until it echoes in my head. And, like a siren song, it draws me in before it comes to a stop, upon reaching a dead end.
Ooh, could it be an adventure then? A secret passage. There must be a hidden switch somewhere. Go look. This is the most interesting thing you've done by far.
Secret entrance, although the idea in and of itself is inane, only makes this entire endeavor even more perilous. But I need to find a way to open it. Already, I'm running my hands against the wall in order to find some sort of hidden switch. It didn't give when I tried to push it open before, and I doubt that would have changed anytime soon. But if there's a door, there's always a way to open it, hopefully without the need to break it down.
A shame I can't roll for perception checks in real life.
Seriously. It's such a silly thing to say out loud, though there is no amusement on my face, and I do check glancing at the mirror from the study. It would make those seduction checks much, much simpler.
Though a sanity check would be more fitting right now, wouldn't it?
It's the thing I liked about Ravenloft. Or Heroes of Horror adapting that for 5th edition. I mean, how long have I been down here, searching for the switch of a hidden door? In order to go find a dead girl, no less. It isn't only unreasonable, it's insane. At this point, they'll find me clawing at the walls, using my nails to try and see if there are any grooves or catches I might have missed. I'm surprised I haven't gone past the 10 minutes that was given to me, and that I'm not being hauled out of here. Hopefully he's just that busy. I don't want to bank on the chance that I have more time, although I know it's... Click. Oh. I really shouldn't let these kinds of things bother me too much. Right now, if I don't continue looking, there's no point in me going down here. Dirt and rocks stick underneath my fingernails and search, but there, a section of the wall about the size of my palm and just as well hidden as the hollow wall is a switch, or a button rather.
Face it, Tigress. You've just hit the jackpot.
Okay. She calls herself Tigress. Okay. The excitement I feel at the discovery finds me pressing it without a second thought. But when a click echoes in the cellar and the hidden door creaks open, I stop. What should I do? Oh, no. I don't, This is very tricky. You know what? I want to kind of go risky. We kept Zachary from trying to climb into the mansion like an insane person. Should we stop Marianne? She's probably gonna die if we go in. If we stay, everything will be fine. I don't know. So let's go in and see what happens. Might as well take a risk. I mean, she's, you know, no time like present. I have to hurry, and I turn around and there's a crash because goddamn, they leave bottles on the floor. In my haste, I bumped into the mirror, making it fall to the ground and shatter into 100 pieces. Well, so much for being, you know, conspicuous. Or is it inconspicuous? Oh gods. It's gonna haunt me. And shit, I hope that isn't an original piece. I don't think my insurance will be able to cover it. I could probably find an imitation to replace it, and... Alright, well, we're going in it. Going into it. The door slammed shut behind me, and I nearly have a heart attack because of it, and now I'm locked in here, which now this looks like a proper dungeon. It's the sex dungeon. But when I see a much more visible lever on the other side, I calm down and shake my head. On the other side is a passageway, an underground tunnel that has me mystified for a mere moment until I realized what it holds. Lots and lots of cells. Cells closed off by heavy iron bars line the sides. A general sense of death and decay lingers heavy, though the years should have taken away most, if not all, of the stench. Of the foul smell of humans and corpses alike being left to rot. I mean, are these corpses human or not? Breeze, most likely coming from the other end of the passage that goes through, is to thank for that. If the place had been enclosed like a mausoleum, I imagine the odor would be fouler than it is now.
Dear Lord in St. Adelaide, bless these poor souls.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Though the architecture of their time was magnificent, human rights wasn't exactly a big thing back then. And if the Ermengarde mansion had a place like this hidden away, who knows what sorts of heinous acts were done down here. There is no time to dwell on it further, though. Not when... Oh, jeez, she's dead. A ghastly thing, a corpse of a woman leans on the wall. Her arms and limbs, almost every inch of her lithe body, is peppered with wounds and rotting flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood and gore hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here? Oh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
Oh my god, you just had to call her that. I flinch as the thing twitches, and holy shit. And as soon as it opens its eyes and looks at me with a smile, there's nothing on my mind but horror. ... exclamation mark. I break into a run. ... I try to keep on running, no matter how much my legs and feet scream at me to stop. I keep going, even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The scampering of her feet, the words she tries to form with her bloodied mouth, and the painful sounds of bones grinding against each other as she moves closer and closer to me. She is just walking, limping even, and she's still getting closer.
How long are these damn tunnels?
She must be in proper shape if she can talk that calmly while running. There's a split second where I know that thing is right behind me, a strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence looms over me. And then, suddenly, the butler. I can't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still, I struggle, up until I'm thrown to the side like some rag doll. I hit the ground on my side, and then the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is my only indication that I'm still alive.
Please don't hurt me.
My body hurts and I keep my eyes shut tight, afraid what might happen next.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
You know this corpse, Marianne? There's a flash of hope. She can help me, save me from that thing. She does not look very friendly, though. But as I see her smile, the same one that thing has, I know then that this isn't Lorraine. I am a fool to think so in the first place. Never could have been her to begin with. The real Lorraine is dead. She looms over me, backs me further in the cell that I was thrown into. Oh, God. Just rush her.
What are you?
Lorraine turns and shifts into that thing from before. And with that gruesome grin, it takes a step forward towards the cell. Towards me. I barely scramble to my knees when the door to the cell slams shut. And it just stands there staring and orders me to strip. Shouts for help ring out in the tunnels. But none of them are coming from me. I'm more paralyzed and shocked by what is happening. My throat tightens at being fooled by the image of Lorraine, the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where?
Help me! Oh, help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl? Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time. Look at this thing, though. It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea. Oh man, that's genius!
Yeah, your idea of ... is amazing.
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously? Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's Suarez kid would panic.
Oh boy, look at their faces.
What? Spit it out! Behind you!
There in the corner of the cell, a digital camera comes flickering to life and a video has played back on the screen. It was hard to even consider paying any attention to it when my life is on the line. But when the ghost doesn't move and the teenagers' mocking shouts have helped me filled the cell, I just had to watch. And what I've seen, students judging by their Saint Goretti uniforms. They were holding...
That letter!
And that thing, the woman, she... Oh. Oh, what's going on? Well, goodbye, Marianne. Guess we know what happened to her. Let's see if there's anything more. ... Rebecca! I'm gonna stop right here. That seems like a good time to stop. This finishes up, hang on. Yes, it finishes up Marianne's chapter, and now we know Rebecca's next. So, I'm gonna guess Isabella and Rebecca are the ones that are gonna die. Isabella, because I messed up that ending part where the thing was hunting her. Marianne, because we went into the dungeon. Bad idea. Bad idea. But then the creature started changing form into the woman in the was it? No, it wasn't the in the portrait in the entryway in the foyer. It wasn't the stained glass window, didn't have a portrait or anything. Okay. So next time we shall start Rebecca's chapter.